What happened at the end of that season then? Because you played 40 games. Is that right? You played 40 games and then were released?
Yeah, I was released. So Lee Johnson took over after Dickie got sacked. We were in a relegation scrap. He made me captain because Firms had gone to Donny at that point, who was captain, and Wezzo, who was our vice-captain, dislocated his shoulder. So he made me captain. We won 3 games in a row. We had 5 games left. We won 3 games in a row and were safe. And then he's pulled me in and said, I love you, but I can't offer you a deal for next year. I was like, well, why? And he's like, well, I know what I want. I want young, energetic players. I was like, I'm only 27. I want young, energetic players. I'm just going to go a different way. And again, at least he like pulled me in, told me before the end of the season and was honest, Lee Johnson. He was a bit of a weirdo anyway, Lee Johnson, to be honest. He was, and not a weirdo, but he's very sure of himself. Very, I know what I'm doing, I'm the best, which is how you need to be as a manager sometimes, I guess. He used to join in training though, thinking he was still the best player, and he was awful.
I don't think he was that good anyway, were he? When he played, I think his old man sorted him out anyway.
He used to join in training, trying to flip one round the corner, do the overs and all that. It was like, never used to come off, but he used to think he was still a very good player. But yeah, I got on with him really well. Like, he made me captain, and we had a bit of a relationship from that. But he released me, and I was like, fair enough. Look, if you want to go a different route, that's fine. And I'd been desperate to get back to the Championship since I left Coventry, really. Always considered that, because of what happened at Huddersfield, a mistake of mine. I should have stayed for the extra year and tried to fight for my space. And if not, hopefully another Championship team would have taken me. So I've always regretted that, and I've always wanted to get back to the Championship. So I felt like that summer was 27. That was my last chance, really, to get back to the Championship.
Had you done well? Well enough?
In stats-wise, no. But like I said, I played 40 games. I'd been captain. I just felt like there could have been a chance.
On a free as well.
Yeah. I felt like that was my only real chance, if there is a chance. And I went on trial at Donny when you were there, because Dickie got the job there. Went to Blackburn because I was still mates with Scott Dan. Gary Bowyer said he was after a striker who was manager at the time. I actually did quite well at Blackburn. I stayed there for 6 weeks. But it was when the Venkeys were in charge, and I got on really well with Gary Bowyer. You could tell that he wanted to sign me, but it was just never going to happen, because his communication with the Venkeys was never going to happen. Unless I was a signing that the Venkeys already knew, they were never going to say to him or give him the go-ahead for a signing like me from League One that had been in a League One relegation team, really. And then I went to Sheffield Wednesday from that, because they called me up when I was still at Blackburn and said, come in and train this week, sign Thursday, Friday, play for us on the Saturday, because they were desperate. I think they'd started off the season really badly. So I told Gary Bowyer, and Gary Bowyer was like, oh, don't go. Like, there could be something here for you. Speaking to the owners. I was like, look, it's never going to happen, is it? And he's like, yeah, go on then, go. Trained pretty well with Sheffield Wednesday. Friday morning, Connor Wickham walks in. They'd signed him on the Friday morning.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
who was manager then at Wednesday?
Dave Jones. But yeah, so that was that done. And obviously during that time, I've been turning down offers from League One clubs, and then I've been calling them back up saying, I'm still available if you want it. With a towel between my legs.
I think managers don't, because I know that when you came to Donny, it was the time with the takeover, wasn't it? We were meant to be getting taken over, and you were there for ages. Yeah. And I remember thinking, they've got to make a decision soon, just for your benefit. But managers are selfish, aren't they? They'll just.
Well, that's what DJ has obviously done. He's wanted Wickham, but not sure if he's going to get him. So he's get himself an extra card, hasn't he?
Yeah. But Dickie was the same. He kept saying to me, yeah, when the takeover happens, the deal's there for you. But it never happened. It's one of them. And you can just tell it's never going to happen eventually. But you kind of never give up hope, because I was desperate, obviously, to get back to the Championship. Donny had just been promoted. But never happened. So
were you pressing panic buttons now?
I was,
after the Sheffield Wednesday thing.
I was, especially when ringing the League One and even the League Two sides that have offered me deals, and they're all saying, our budget's gone now. The season had started by this point.
Yeah.
Budget's gone now. So I was there thinking, right, last chance to get back to the champ, to being unemployed, thinking, fuck, what am I going to do?
Another degree.
Yeah.
Get another student loan and do another degree.
Well, that's the thing. If anybody, if that was to be the end of my football career, I was probably in a good position to think, right, that's it, football's done now. My mum was right. Let's go and use my degree.
They're always right in the end, their mums.
Use my degree and get a job. And I'd been quite sensible with my money throughout my career, really. My dad worked in finance all of his life and was always telling me to save and invest. So I did. But even just the 4 or 5 months that I was out of contract without a club, living the same lifestyle, you soon see all of that go. And real realisation about how quickly your savings can go if you want to live the same lifestyle that you are. And obviously I was thinking I was going to get hopefully a deal in the Championship, so I wasn't reducing my lifestyle at all. I was thinking, no, I'm going to get a new deal soon. Yeah. And the missus was coming home from work saying, like, what have you done today? And I was like, I've gone to the gym, kept fit, keep yourself fit, wait for the phone to ring, didn't ring. She'd be like, fucking hell, okay. The bills are coming out next week. So yeah, and that was a big realisation for me, not only like in football terms, but I looked at the support that was out there for that type of scenario, which obviously happens to a number of players every single year, and it just wasn't adequate in my opinion. Yeah. So that really sort of ignited something within me for part of what I do now with Laps.
I suppose you were in a privileged position in having your degree and everything, and you still, the stress is still there and everything around it. I imagine there's a lot of lads who get to that point who don't know what to do, where to go.
Without a degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I had an email off the PFA in October. Do you want us to add you to the transfer list? So I was like, right, what's that? And like, it's just a list of players that we have on our website that shows everybody that's still out of contract, that was with a club but is now out of contract. I'm like, yeah, right then, yeah. So I had a look on the list thinking, what other strikers are on there? So I know whether clubs might look for them instead of me. And there was 300 kids on there, 300 lads on this transfer list. And I'm there thinking...
as well, you're quite far down, aren't you, with an S?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But in my head, I'm thinking, fuck me, if I'm struggling and I've got a degree behind me and a good amount of savings behind me to survive for a year maybe, I bet these other lads on this list haven't got that. Yeah. They've spunked their money and they've probably got a BTEC in sports science. They must be thinking, yeah, shit, what am I going to do? And that really sort of grew the flame inside me, really. There needs to be more support, because I rang the PFA and said, look, this could be the end of my football career. What else can I do? I've got a degree. And they were like, have you done your coaching badges? I thought, well, yeah, I think I did in my youth team, because we had to at youth team level at that time, didn't we? We had to do some sort of badge. But I think the next one I needed to do was my UEFA B. And they're like, oh, yeah, get UEFA B done then. I was like, yeah, all right. Not got any desire to be a coach, though, really.
I think that's just the card that they play to everybody who makes a call.
Easy option for a minute. Get your coaching badges.
Yeah. And I said, is there any other thing? And they were like, oh, yeah, we've got loads of courses. You could do a sports journalism course. We've got with partnership with Staffordshire Uni. I was like, nah, that's not really for me. A plumber's course. I was like, nah, it's not really for me. I've got a degree in sports science and maths.
I don't know if I told you that 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, what careers could I maybe go into with that?
Plumbing.
And they were like, oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, better do some research in that, which is fine, because this is what any non-footballer would have to do, I guess, coming out of uni. But I was 27, 28. I wasn't 18 looking to, or 21 looking for a starting salary somewhere to build. I needed to pay the mortgage and pay the bills. And they said, oh, have you had a look on our recruitment page on our website, the PFA said. So I said, no, I didn't realise there was one. So I went on there and there was 5 coaching jobs there on the recruitment page on their website.
There's 300 lads out of contract.
Yeah. And even when I did my UEFA B, I asked the educator. I said, how many people are doing their B this year? And he was like, 2,000. Over 2,000 doing it this year. Really happy. I was like, all right. I said, how many coaching jobs do you think there'll be available this season? I'm like, oh, you'll be lucky if there's 200. That's why you got to be the best. I'm not thinking, but all you're selling is the first point of call that you sell to these players wanting to do more is coaching badges. But then there's
completely saturated.
10% of it is jobs available to what's being on those coaching courses. You should be offering more than that, just saying that.
And most employ the pals anyway, don't they?
It's not what you know, is it?
It's not about being the best.
It's who you know, it's your network, Even little things like your network. You don't get taught as a footballer or told by your union, utilise your network now, because I know some players will just say, fuck it, I'm playing football. I know they will, but there will be one or two that actually listen to them and benefit from doing stuff that they're in a position that really puts them at an advantage to do. So that's what ignited my passion for setting up laps, really.
It's like life after professional sport.
That's it, yeah. So I ended up ringing Russell Slade at Leyton Orient saying, because they offered me a deal at the start of the summer and they were top of League One at the time. So I'm thinking, right, get in there and try and get a deal there. So I rang him up. I said, look, Russ, I'll come and play for you for free. Just give me a deal this was in the November. I said, give me a 2-month deal to January. I'll play for nothing. I just want to come and help you, because they were top of the league with not the biggest budget, against the likes of like Wolves were in the league at the time and a few other big clubs. And I said, I'll help you get promoted. Just add to your squad, play for nothing. No brainer. He's like, definitely. Come in.
I think I can sell that to the chairman. The other guy we tried signing in the summer for X, he wants to play for fuck all. Get him in.
So I did do that to the January, and then they gave me a proper deal. Not a proper deal, but really reduced deal to the end of the season. But in my spare time, I was then... I created a LinkedIn account and started connecting with everybody and anybody that would connect with me. Started speaking to some of my old Loughborough University friends who were in like athletics, cricket, rugby, and asking them about the support that they get when their career comes to an end. And all of them came back with pretty much the same, that the unions try and do stuff, but it's not really that helpful, although they are getting better each year because people keep pressuring them to do so. But the feeling's very much the same. And if you look at all the stats from sports people about what the issues that they go through post-retirement, it's, like in football, 2/3 of them are bankrupt within 5 years of retiring. 40% of them are divorced within a year of retiring. All these things, and it's alarming. It was alarming to me at the time that someone hadn't recognised this and put something in place to at least provide some support or have something there that the players can go to. Yeah, people don't like to speak about the financial element of the worry after their career finishes, because they don't like to feel that they're portrayed as, it's about the money, But it is a huge factor. Paying, when you come out of that first career and you need to start a new career, starting salary of like 15k a year, like you would do coming out of uni being happy because you're still living at home, it's not going to cut it. It's not for a lot of people, because they have spent their money whilst they're playing, trying to live the footballer's lifestyle. And it is their own fault, but there's pressure to do that. Like I felt pressured to buy a new car when I signed for Coventry. There is that pressure that you don't understand. People that aren't in football don't understand those pressures really, to live that lifestyle.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah, it is. If you wear shit gear into training, it gets cut up. And then you have to buy new gear.
You've got to buy new stuff.
You do.
No option. You've got fuck all else to wear.
Yeah. If you have a shit car, you get the piss taken out of you until you buy a new one. And then even then, you then get the piss taken out of you because you've crumbled and bought a new one.
Yeah.
It's a tough industry to be in. And when that ends, it does really hit you if you haven't prepared for it. So preparing for it is massive. It really is. And the fact that there wasn't the adequate support there, and there still isn't. There's still a long way to go, but it is a lot better now. And we're obviously working with Laps alongside some of them, trying to add to their offering. And sometimes it gets beaten away because they see us as a competitor. But I don't really see it like that. Like all I want is to help the athletes, the sports people, and if they use us, if they use the PFA, if they use the Professional Rugby's Association, I don't care. If we're there as a tool, because it won't be for everybody. Like some people won't want to go to the PFAs, but some people will rather come to us, and vice versa. So as long as we reduce, let's face it, people trying to commit suicide. One of the big reasons why I set up Laps is because Leon McKenzie, my old teammate, who is larger than life in the dressing room, when his football career came to an end, he tried to commit suicide. And again, that was just an added thing to me. Jesus, right? Someone really close to me now has gone through that. One, I haven't recognised it. And two, I want to set something up so that never happens to one of my old teammates ever again. Yeah. Never feels like they have to do that. And not only my old teammates, everybody now, every sports person shouldn't have those feelings just from their sports career ending. And they should think, and the other one you mentioned is their identity. Like people think they're a footballer and they're worthless with everything else. Like you guys are testament to that. You're ex-footballers, but you've now got one of the most popular podcasts going. Like, and it's not down to you being a footballer, you being ex-footballers. It's down to your personalities, and that's why football's what players do. It's their job. It's not who they are, and they need to. It helps them. They don't need to, but it benefits them massively for looking at themselves in a different light than I'm a footballer.
I mean, there's a lot of players listen to this, isn't there? So, whatever age you are, if you are thinking about or after football, just get in touch.
Not just football, though, is it?
Yeah,
like,
sorry,
any other sport.
Yeah. Any sport.
Any sport. 'Cause it's all the same. And we mentioned your mate in the military earlier. I took the idea of Laps from military, building people from military background back into society once they've done their time, which is tough. So I've built a similar model. So I think the attributes are the same from sports people. I didn't think Laps would be successful unless I met my co-founder, Rob Steed, who works in recruitment. And he came to me and said, I've had 3 or 4 of my clients ask for me to recruit sports people. And I was like, oh, how come? And he's like, they're driven, determined, set goals, really competitive, learn from their failures quickly, analyse their own performance. And one company said, oh, we employed a former Olympic rower. Within 3 months, we promoted him. Now he's got a whole team, manages a whole team. Like, we want more of him. And the natural attributes that sports people have to be a professional footballer, you've had to deal with setbacks. You've had to show drive and determination. And
never actually thought of it in that way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sports people don't realise that they've got these qualities just because they feel like they're just playing football. But to become a professional athlete in any sport, you must have shown all of these qualities really to get there. Football's it is a bubble, and it will burst. It will come to an end. It's just a fact. So we need to support these athletes so when that time comes and help them realise, whilst they're still playing, that building blocks towards the end of their career they've got a foundation in place to support them and I hate the word transition, but transition smoothly from being a sports person to whatever it is they want to do. Because there's loads of different careers out there. There's bound to be one that suits you or that you enjoy or find a passion in. If you build those blocks gradually over time while you're still playing, then you'll be much better for it. For your future.
Couldn't get me a new job, could you, Sim? Because I'm thinking about leaving this shower and shit.
Wait, we'll start building the blocks now.
Give me your business card, Johnny.
I don't want to do one, maximum 2 days a week.
Good luck finding a company employing that.
Fucking order. 15 hours maximum a week will do me. 80k, I want to start on 80k or I'm not fucking interested.